Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Yes.
After a violent hailstorm of about an hour, the skies have cleared. It's a beautiful evening in Chicago, and now it is time for baseball. As the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the Yankees against the White Sox, game one of a four-game set from Wright Field in Chicago, Illinois. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with Joe Girardi, I'm Michael Kay. Yankees come from Philadelphia, where they took 2 out of 3 from the Phils. They did lose last night. They got some bad news as well. Cody Bellinger on the IL for what should be 4 to 6 weeks with a hamstring issue. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup in this one. Battle left-handers, the youngster Noah Schultz will get the start for the Sox, and for the Yankees is Max Fried. His first start off the IL last time out really was magnificent.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be a rehab start, but because of some rainouts, they moved him up, and boy, was he impressive. And it started with his fastball, Michael. His fastball had a little extra giddy up, about 1.3 miles more than average. His changeup had the good run. Look at the sweeper. Good luck, left-handers, in hitting this, because this has got depth, and it has a lot of sweep. He was really impressive.
Impressive, economical, 5 innings, just 1 hit. That was the first batter he faced. Didn't allow a run, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts. He threw 57 pitches. Now, the White Sox offense is pretty good. The last time the Yankees faced the White Sox at Yankee Stadium, Munetaka Murakami was not there. He was on the IL, but he's back, and he's coming off a big, big day yesterday.
Yeah, they went 500 without him, but they were glad that they got him back. The first 10 games back, he didn't do a lot of damage. You see the bobblehead of him. You see his parents walking out, and they're going to end up throwing out some first pitches. It looked like a little batting practice. And here too, Michael, this is a long bomb to left field. He had some kind of day. He's got power to all fields. He walks. He is an on-base guy. And you're going to look, Michael, he is some kind of hitter, and they are glad to get him back.
Now, he had a long career in Japan. He's considered a rookie here in the States, hitting .239, 22 home runs, 48 runs batted in, the OPS 921. The Yankee offense, a little problematic. They've been having trouble scoring runs, and now there is no Cody Bellinger for a while. How do they put together a lineup with all the people that are missing? Meredith Marakovich talks to Aaron Boone about that very thing. We'll hear the answer coming up next on Yes.
Welcome back to the South Side for Yankees baseball on Yes, as we're getting you set for first pitch between the Yankees and the Chicago White Sox. Hey everyone, I'm Meredith Marakovich. Cody Bellinger is on the IL. He'll be out for the next 4 to 6 weeks, according to Aaron Boone, with a grade 2 hamstring strain. So now that lineup is without Bellinger, Aaron Judge, and Giancarlo Stanton. I asked Aaron Boone how he continues to try to navigate through this storm.
We have good players still, so you know, it's different. There's no sugarcoating, you know, missing great players right now. All players that we're confident are going to be back in our lineup at some point, so there's that excitement, but we also feel like we have people capable of stepping up and helping us win games on a nightly basis.
So with no Bellinger, it is going to be Max Schumann out there in left field tonight. He will lead off. Spencer Jones is in center field. Just an off day for Trent Grisham. And Jason Dominguez remains your right fielder. Plenty more to come here on the Yes Network. When we get back, Michael Kay will be joined by Joe Girardi. First pitch next on Yes.
Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by the New York Lottery. Play today and start imagining your win. By Nissan. Hop into a Nissan Rogue and hit the road to adventure. Shop NissanUSA.com. And by Optimum Fiber. Famously fast fiber internet. Chicago and New York. Two great towns. White Sox have had a surprising season. They're in first place in the Central. They're celebrating Christmas here in July. The Grinch with the White Sox flag. The White Sox have taken the field. So why don't we take a look at the Yankee lineup that's been put together by Aaron Boone. Max Schumann in left field is going to lead off. 12th career start at leadoff. First time with the Yankees. Then Ben Rice and Paul Goldschmidt. Cleaning up right field with Jason Dominguez. Anthony Volpe with that 5th. Jazz Chisholm 6th. Playing third base is Jose Caballero. Spencer Jones gets the start in center field, and Ali Sanchez will catch, and he's going to bat ninth.
Well, here are the numbers on the 22-year-old left-handers. High ERA, a lot of walks per innings. And let's take a look at the Nissan Pitcher scouting report on Noah Schultz. There's a lot of moving parts. This young man is 6'10", first-round pick in 2022, and there's a lot of mechanics that you have to master. He's a local kid. He grew up about an hour away from this ballpark in Naperville, Illinois, and I always believe that adds a little bit of pressure. And is he the odd man out? He's 3-7 with the 604. They're trying to probably add a starter to this rotation. He could be out of the rotation, but he's only 22. He'll get plenty of chances.
And left-handed. Let's take a look at the defense behind him, brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Former Yankee Randall Grichuk in left, former Yankee Everson Pereira in center, then Braden Montgomery in right. Infield, Vargas, Acuna, Mydroth, and Murakami. Kiro beyond the plate, Schultz on the mound. Home plate umpire is Alan Porter. Umpire scouting report brought to you by your local Kia dealers. 75 pitches challenged, 42 overturned, more low strikes, fewer high strikes in his 17th big league season. Widely respected umpire. He's the crew chief of this crew. Schumann's ready. Schultz is ready. And let's do it here in Chicago. Pitch is way outside, 1-0.
Just a bit?
Just a bit. You talked about a lot of moving parts. He's 6'10", and that's tied for the third tallest player in baseball history. The only guys that have been taller and played in baseball as a pitcher, 6'11" John Roush and 6'11" Sean Jelly.
How tall was Randy Johnson?
6'10". And those guys take longer to make it work because there's so many moving parts that have to get in sync. And Randy Johnson actually was let go by the Expos. They traded him.
Yeah, and he turned out to be pretty good.
Yes.
And I think when this young man figures out his mechanics, he's going to give hitters a fit. But right now, it's a little bit difficult. He doesn't have necessarily a ton of minor league innings under his belt. He's almost at his max. I mean, most innings he's ever thrown in a season is 85. He's at 79 right now.
2-2.
And one of the things that has kind of hurt his development, I believe, he's had right knee patellar tendonitis, his landing knee. And that landing knee is so important because it stabilizes your body as you're coming down the hill. He's missed time this year. He's missed time last year. Something that he's going to have to deal with.
Now you'll see he pitches out of the stretch all the time. Then we mentioned all the moving parts. That takes some of the movement away. And he's been doing that since he was 14 years old.
Yeah, I think it's smart. And here's the other thing. The most important pitches usually make in a game are out of the stretch. So why not practice it all the time? And then you're not changing in the middle.
Way outside, and the count is full on Schumann. Let's take a look at his arsenal on StatCast 3D by Google Cloud.
Yeah, he's got 6 pitches, which is a lot for a young pitcher to try to figure out. The four-seamer, the sinker, the cutter, 3 different fastballs. Cutter is probably his best pitch. Sweeper change and a curveball.
Schumann fouls it back.
And you can see he's got a low arm angle, Michael. And it's not as low as some of the other great starters you've seen, like Chris Sale, but he kind of short arms it, and it's kind of a low arm slot.
This will be the 8th pitch of this at bat. And now it'll be 9 pitches, at least.
Yeah, here's his motion. You're going to see him drop his arm down, and it's really short. He gets it right behind his head, and then he kind of slings it. And I'm sure having that short arm stroke makes it easier for him to throw strikes.
Strike 3, and Schumann is going to challenge. ABS challenge presented by T-Mobile. Let's take a look. And he was wrong.
Well, it's confirmed. New York has 1 challenge.
So
remaining.
you lose half your challenges on the first at-bat of the game.
Yeah, he went with his cutter here. And again, I said that's the pitch that he's had the most success. You can see the depth to it. Schumann looked like he wasn't quite sure, but he changed his mind and challenged and lost.
There's Ben Rice. Yankees are 59-46, and the White Sox are 55-49, shockingly in first place in the American League Central. They were 60-102 last year.
Okay, let's go back 2 years. 41-121.
Amazing.
They went from 80 games under 500 to 42 to over. And their young manager has done a fantastic job. Will Venable.
1-2.
During the course of this game, you're going to see that Schultz has stuff, but can he consistently throw it where he wants to? That's the big thing for him.
One thing that we've seen with Judge and Stanton being out is the Yankees are susceptible to left-handed pitching. Because when you have Judge in the lineup and Stanton in the lineup, you don't want to pitch a lefty. Now.
Yeah. You're absolutely right, Michael.
Swing and a miss. 96 miles an hour past Rice, 2 away. Let's take a look at the White Sox, the Mohegan Sun team scouting report.
Well, it's a potent offense. They're scoring runs. They're 7th in baseball at 4.82. Major improvement. Not just their record, but their bullpen since June 1st, a 3.20 ERA, which is 6th in the major leagues. Can they finish the job, Michael? It's one thing to win April through July. It's another thing to win August and September. There's not one starter in their rotation that has 1 game of playoff experience.
And I think now the job actually shifts to the front office. Do they make that deal? Do they go away from keeping their young players and make that deal to bring in a big-time starter? That's a question they're going to have to answer. When we were in Washington, we said the same thing. When you're ahead of schedule, do you do things that you really didn't think you had to do? Or do you say, okay, now the Nationals already traded Curtis Mead to get another starter. They need starting, and they took away some of their offense.
Yeah, I actually think they made a good trade because I think they needed offense. And they had a young third baseman that came back off the IL, so it allowed you, they probably think of his as a future third baseman. So let me go get another starting pitching because I need it.
1-2. Served and past a lunging Murakami into right field. So Goldschmidt with a 2-out single, and that'll bring up Dominguez.
He's got such great bat control, and so much of it is because he gets his foot down so early, and he sees the baseball and just kind of scoops it down and away, and not even a full swing, but he gets the barrel. If you get the barrel to it, the ball's going to go, whether you check swing or not, or you put an A swing on it or not. And that's what it did.
And there's a strike to Jason Dominguez. Hitting .250 against left-handed pitching this year. That was supposed to be a big problem, but he has certainly made strides. And here he is batting cleanup against a lefty starter. Count quickly, 0-2. It's a big jump.
Look at the extra base hits. That's the most impressive thing. And it's in half the at-bats that he had in the other 2 years.
Schultz has some velocity. That was 97 miles an hour. Fouled away.
And you see the changeup, it's 90. It does have some run to it, but there's not a huge discrepancy between his changeup and his fastball. His fastball's been anywhere from 93 to 97.
Swing and a miss. Schultz with 3 strikeouts in the first inning. Yankees strand 1, and the White Sox coming to bat. The second city, the Windy City, looking great after that storm. As we go to the bottom of the first inning, take a look at the White Sox order. You've got Grichuk, Murakami, and Vargas at the top of the order. Then Colson, Montgomery, Chase Mydrop, and Braden Montgomery. That's the middle. Everson Pereira in center field. Edgar Caro is the catcher, and Luis Angel Acuna, the shortstop, batting ninth. Colson Montgomery, in 9 games against the Yankees, has done damage with 5 home runs.
Well, Max Fried, numbers impressive again. You see the walks. He doesn't walk people. He doesn't give up one home run. But let's check out the Nissan pitcher scouting report on Max. Wow. I was extremely impressed with what he did his last start. Going 5 innings in 57 pitches. He gave up 1 hit to the first hitter. He had 1 base runner after. His velo was up about 1.3 miles an hour more than previously. He was 96.2. Stay close. If you're the White Sox have been picked off 14 times, the second most in Major League Baseball, and we know Max has got a great move since he's come up, the most pickoffs of anyone at 38.
Former Yankee Grichuk takes a pitch up and away. Yankees designated him for assignment on April 29th. 5 days later, he was picked up by the White Sox. He's done a good job here in Chicago. Oh, strike.
You know, the thing about when he was with the Yankees, he came late to spring training, didn't get a lot of at-bats, and he was slow out of the gate with the Yankees. And then the last 15 at-bats, he was 5 for his last 15. He was 1 for his first 16, and he's been very good with the White Sox.
1-2.
And he's a guy that's given Max Fried some trouble. 5 for 16 off of Max.
Now, Fried and Garrett Cole pitched in the doubleheader on Wednesday against the Pirates. Shows you that Fried came out of that start okay, because he's working on the regular day's rest. And then tomorrow, Garrett Cole gets started. He'll get the extra day.
It makes complete sense to me, because you think about Garrett Cole threw 100 pitches. Max only threw 57. It doesn't take as much to recover. So it just makes complete sense.
The 2-2. Grounded and off the third base bag and down the left field line. Grichuk will round first. He's going to go to second, and he will make it as the ball gets away from Chisholm. So leadoff double, and fortuitous, hit right off the bag.
Yeah, because I think Caballero is going to get to this ball, and I'm not sure he's going to throw him out, but it's not going to be a double. And then Max Schumann does a good job of getting it in the air, and Jazz just tried to tag too quickly. It was not a tough hop to handle. He just didn't look it in, and it was almost a repeat of what happened the last start, where Cody threw the guy out at second base. He's out if he catches it.
Oh, by a lot.
Yeah.
Here's Murakami. Served into center field, coming on Spencer Jones. He plays it on the hop. Grichuk held up, so he'll just move to third. So a base hit for Murakami. Let's check out the Yankee defense, brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. And we'll take a closer look at Jason Dominguez, the CarShield defensive player profile. 3 defensive runs saved this season, and he was -7 in that category in 2025. He's made some strides out there, and that's why when Grisham plays, they're going to have Spencer Jones in left, who's only had 20 games in left field in his minor league career. They don't want to dislodge Jason Dominguez out of right.
Yeah, and I said something to you the other day. I said, you know what I've noticed I've noticed we haven't talked about him in right. Like, he's doing a good job, so you're not talking about, well, he could have taken this different angle, or it's a ball he should have caught. He's been making the plays. He made a really good play the other night where he saved a run by a strong throw to home. I mean, he's improved.
Well, Fried has now given up more hits to the first 2 batters than he gave in the entire 5-inning start he had last time against a good offensive team in Pittsburgh. Vargas works the count 2-0.
The White Sox, when you look at the record, there's 6 games over. They're 32-19 at home. They have played very well at home.
Vargas, one of the 3 White Sox All-Stars, hit a long home run off Robleski of the Dodgers in the All-Star game. There was some thought that maybe he'd be up for the MVP, which Cody Bellinger ended up getting.
Yeah, he's had a really, really good year. He's improved. He's had to move around first, third. He used to play second.
Fouled away.
See the numbers. It's pretty good AL ranks. 71 runs, second in the AL.
Count 3-2 on Vargas. He checks his swing, and Roberto Ortiz agrees.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that you would see Murakami running here with the move that he's got. He's 1 for 4 in stolen bases. You got Colson Montgomery up next, who's got a lot of power and actually has better numbers against lefties than righties, similar to like what a Cody Bellinger does.
You
know what that's
first?
called?
What's that?
A one-way lead. As soon as he picks up, you go back. Do not take things into your own hands in the decision making.
Popped up behind the plate, now to play.
Fly balls could be a little bit tricky tonight, Michael. It got really windy here. It cooled off. It looks like it's blowing from right to left. In these bowls that can swirl sometimes.
It's always been mistakenly thought that this is a windy city because it's windy. But that's not the reason. It's because the politicians back in the old days didn't shut up. They were very windy.
It is windy, though, a lot here. And it's had to drop 20 degrees since this afternoon.
It was miserable this morning. Wow. 8th pitch coming. And he got him. Good cutter. And Vargas swings through. 1 away.
Yeah, this is just an outstanding pitch. Great depth to it, great location. The only thing he can do is if he hits it hard is hit it foul because it's boring in on him. Now you got the dangerous Colson Montgomery, and his numbers 869 OPS off of lefties, 711 off of righties. And I think it's because his approach is to left center off of lefties. So I think they're going to have to run that sinker in on him some.
Yankees, as they were for Vargas, back for the double play. 1st and 3rd, 1 man out, bottom of the 1st inning. And we told you during the lineups, Colson Montgomery has been really good against the Yanks. In 9 games, 11 for 33, a 389 on base percentage, 7 extra base hits,
5 homers.
It's amazing.
He's got elite bat speed, big time pop.
Just 24 years old. He did not play in yesterday's game. He fouled the ball off his right shin on Saturday. Second time he did that this week. We're back in the lineup tonight. (2-0). Well, that double by Grichuk, the first extra base hit that Fried is allowed on a cutter. That's this year.
Yeah, hitters were hitting 163 off of that pitch.
Turned him loose on 3-0 and he grounded a foul. A lot of faith in a 24-year-old against the veteran Fried.
I like it because it might be the best pitch you get to hit off of Max Fried.
Swing and a miss. 3-2. Free trying to get out of this jam.
Yeah, interesting enough, he threw that ball away. He didn't like it, but I like the result of it. Keeping that ball. I think he's got two choices here, Michael. I think he's got the sweeper or he's got that sinker back up and in. See Sanchez telling the infielders, are we throwing through here? Are we throwing through?
Let's see if they send Murakami. Richard will stay anchored at third. Three-two. Grounded and through for a base hit. It'll score Grichuk. Murakami is going to third. The throw is not in time. A good throw by Dominguez, but Murakami just got in. And Montgomery found a hole between Goldschmidt and Chisholm to pick up his 60th run batted in.
Yeah, because they're holding him on, it's able to get between Goldschmidt and Jazz Chisholm Jr. And you see they're pretty close, but this all is hit pretty hard just off of Jazz's glove, which probably allows Murakami to go to third because it slows it up and it changes the direction. The throw is a little bit offline. A very strong throw. And you see it, and he's not able to get in and keep that tag on. Oh, he might be out. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't replay it. And maybe he wasn't tagging him like it appears. He tries to keep the tag on him.
Yeah,
it's there. It's there. It's there. I think they may have had an out there.
The Yankees did not challenge. It's too late to do it now. Matt Blake goes out and settles down Fried. Foot is clearly off the bag, and Caballero's glove is on the leg. They did not challenge.
And now you're facing Chase Meadroth, who has been extremely hot the last 13 games. And it's a contact hitter that really hits left-handers. They will hit and run with him. They can do a lot of different things.
Pitch to Meadroth is outside, and Ali Sanchez is going to challenge. And Alan Porter said, no, you didn't take it. You took too much time.
They missed it.
Catcher is challenging the ball.
Yeah, there we go.
And that is presented by T-Mobile. Let's see if he's right. If not, they're out of challenges. He's right.
Ball's overturned. New York has one remaining.
Sanchez has been very good at the ABS.
Yeah. And Austin Wells has been good too. See him drop this curveball in. High curveball hitters give up on.
Yeah, Porter was not looking, so he missed the initial tap of the helmet.
The one thing about Alan Porter, though, Alan Porter will diffuse every situation. He was one of my favorite umps when I had it, and you see him talking here, and I'm not sure what they're talking about.
I think it's a pitch com.
Yeah. Very even-keeled umpire. I used to feel bad for him.
Really? Why?
He was from Philadelphia, and he had a son playing high school baseball, and he never umpired games in Philadelphia. And I'm like, can't they send you home for a few days to ump in Philadelphia?
Right. All right, everything is settled. First time in 7 starts that Fried's allowed a run in the first inning. Trying to keep it at just 1 run. The 0-1. Meadroth swings and misses. 0-2. Murakami's at third. Montgomery is at first. 1-0 White Sox, bottom of the first inning. High fly ball, right center. Jones on the run. And right center, he makes the play. Tagging and scoring is Murakami. It's a sac fly from Meadroth, and it is a 2-0 White Sox lead.
Yeah, a contact guy, and he does a good job of just staying in the middle of the field and hitting a fly ball and getting the White Sox their second run. And the Yankees have had a hard time scoring runs, so every run is really important.
Here's Braden Montgomery. A switch hitter, better from the left side against righty pitching, but he's from the right side against Fried. Against lefties, he hits 194.
Do they have to have two Montgomerys like almost back-to-back in the lineup?
If they room together on the road, it would be Montgomery Ward.
It would be what?
Montgomery Ward. Wasn't that a department store here in Chicago?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
That's really good, Michael.
Thank you. The 0-2. Still 0-2. Braden, a first-round draft pick, 12th pick overall in 2024. And that was by Boston, and he came to the White Sox in the Garrett Crochet deal, as did Kyle Teal, their catcher, who's on the IL again. 0-2. Drilled down the left field line. On the run is Schumann. He lunges and can't make the play, and the ball then caroms to the other side of the wall as Montgomery will score, and Braden Montgomery picks up a triple and an RBI. It is 3-0 in Chicago.
I thought Schumann got hurt there. He might have turned an ankle. He landed kind of funny when he hit that track. They're going to go take a look at him in left field. And Braden Montgomery does a great job of pulling his hands. And you see the route, and it looked like he might have hurt his knee there, Michael, a little bit. And it could be just from landing on it and like getting a strawberry on that section, but that was not pretty.
You know what I think happened, Joe? The field is wet from all that rain, and he slipped. Watch this. He'll slip.
Yeah, as he's trying to put the brakes on and go to his right to get the baseball. You're absolutely right, Michael. Great catch.
Right here, it slides.
Yeah.
It might have been the other foot. The left foot made the slide, and then the right foot kind of buckled as he was trying to stop himself.
So to me, that's either a quad or a hip flexor that he's evaluating there.
You don't think it's ankle?
No.
Okay.
I don't. Even though it looks like it should be an ankle.
Slide.
It looks like it should be that left ankle, but I think it's the quad or the hip flexor.
Kind of hobbled after it by the time he got to it. Colson had scored, and Braden had got himself an RBI triple. So not a great first inning for Max Fried, who was so brilliant in his first start against the Pirates off the IL. Now, we talk about the rain. There's nothing you can do about the outfield because you got to dump the rain somewhere, and the grounds crew did a good job. I mean, you can't even imagine how hard it was pouring. So you saw it.
It probably rained 3 inches today.
Yeah, it was tough.
It ruined my lunch plans. I was going to walk out to lunch, and that was the end of that.
And you went indoors.
Yes, I did.
Everson Pereira just came off the IL. He was on concussion protocol since June 17th. He hurt himself at Yankee Stadium. Made a catch. And then hit the wall.
On Ben Rice.
Yeah, Ben Rice. Missed 32 games. Yankees traded Pereira to the White Sox or to the Rays for Jose Caballero. And then the Rays traded him to the White Sox. Everson was in the Yankee system for 7 years and played 27 games with the Yankees in 2023. 2-1. 2-2.
Saw that graphic there. The most runs he's allowed in the first inning in 44 starts. That's pretty impressive. How good he has been for the Yankees.
So first time as a Yankee he's done that.
Yes.
The 2-2. Did he go? Yes, he went. Pereira down on strikes. But the White Sox score 3 runs on 4 hits with 1 man left. Anthony Volpe will lead off the second inning. Play FanDuel's Daily Dinger for free every day for a chance at a profit boost if your elected player hits a home run. Here are the featured home run odds for today's players. Volpe's plus 680. Jazz Chisholm, who follows him, is plus 450. Volpe had 2 doubles last night. He takes a strike from Schultz, who was sitting for 25 minutes between the last time he threw a pitch.
Comes out and throw a first pitch strike, and that has not been his MO for most of the year.
Lofted into right field. Braden Montgomery makes the play. Between innings, Tim Lentic, the athletic trainer, following Schumann into the runway. Looked like he was moving better than he was initially.
And if I'm not sure, I think Tim had a Band-Aid in his hand. I'm sure he tore up his knee a little bit.
There's Jazz Chisholm. And a strike.
To me, he looks like Schultz. He got those 3 runs, and it was like he looks like he's much more mechanically sound right now throwing the baseball. 3 strikes in a row he's come out and thrown. Yeah, maybe not. I jinxed him.
He did. Last start, July 21st at Texas. He got roughed up. 3 2/3 innings, 11 hits.
And to me, I think the Yankees mindset has to change a little bit, because this is not your typical lineup where you can play for the 3-run home run. I think they have to just chip away, get 1 or 2 here, get 1 or 2 there, and get back in this game.
2-2. Well, Aaron Judge made the trip. He showed up for the final game in Philadelphia, and he's also with Giancarlo Stanton. So they are here in Chicago. Obviously, neither one of them ready to play. And Meredith, you spoke to Aaron Judge in Philly, right?
Michael, he was just asked about weathering the storm with Bellinger now on the IL as well, and he said guys are just going to need to continue to step up. When asked if he was any closer or if he was getting imaged again anytime soon, he said no, nothing new on that front yet. He will be with the team for the rest of this road trip. As far as Giancarlo Stanton is concerned, he was in the hallway earlier today doing some resistance band work. Aaron Boone continuing to say that he's working on that running program, but not at a place yet where he's starting to run the bases. So until he does that, not really an option for this Yankees team in coming back.
Chisholm strikes out looking. That's the 4th strikeout for Schultz.
Yeah, this is just a 2-seamer, and he throws it, and I'm not sure what Jazz was looking for. Those hitters, sometimes you might sit break a ball in those situations, and it's tough. Or maybe he just didn't pick it up with that low arm angle. Sometimes it can come out of maybe the sign in right field, the Xfinity sign in right field.
Caballero takes a strike. He's been struggling of late. He's 4 for his last 30. And in Philadelphia, he was 1 for 11.
You know, I wonder if him having to change his routine will take him a little while to get used to. But in the long run, will it be better to where he's not always having to fight for something? He can just relax and do what he does. I don't know. Time will tell.
Yeah, he's ready much sooner than the 8-second mark. He's in there. He's in the box with about 14 seconds and looks up. 1-2. Well, Major League Baseball kind of legislated that they didn't want to put up with the shenanigans anymore. And they did it without telling the Yankees or Caballero.
To me, they weren't shenanigans.
And that's going to be challenged by Carroll. He thinks it's strike 3. And he's wrong.
And the reason I say they weren't shenanigans is because he did the same thing all the time. Both guys thought it was a strike. The most important thing person did, Mr. ABS.
Well, I hear what you're saying. They thought of it as shenanigans, that it was slowing things down.
I tell you what, I see a lot more shenanigans by pitchers that do stuff where they quick pitch you and do different things than what he was doing.
Grounded foul.
It's my soapbox now, right now, Michael.
You're allowed.
It bothers me.
And he also, you know, got ruled against on a ball that he caught on a line drive and dropped.
Yes.
He said, they must think a lot of me to think that I could do that and plan it. We've always heard people say, if he's on the other team, you don't like him. If he's on your team, you like him and stick up for him. So
You love him.
Yep. High fly ball, left field. Grichuk back on the track, and he makes the play for the final out as the Yankees go down in order. We'll go to the bottom of the second.
Welcome back. Max Fried on the mound for his second inning of work as the White Sox lead the Yankees 3-0. When I spoke to Fried after his first start off of the IL, he told me, pitching is my absolute favorite thing to do, to be able to go out there on the mound, feel the energy, try to keep my team in the game and give them a chance to win. That is what he loves to do most. He said overall, everything just felt normal last time. Joe, you mentioned his velocity up a little bit with that four-seam fastball. Well, he said he thinks there's probably two things to that. First and foremost, he's fresh. There's probably a little more adrenaline. He had not pitched since May 13th. But also, while he was on the IL, he kind of tweaked his mechanics a little bit, tried to really fine-tune things. And as he put it, he tried to get more on time and more athletic on the mound. He said he felt like that delivery was in a great place last time out. We'll see if he's able to kind of get things under control here today in the second inning. Now, guys, we do know Max Fried is on a pitch count. Last time out, he threw 57 pitches. Expect him to be about 60 to 70 pitches this evening. He threw 32 in that first inning, so he's going to need to be efficient to give them any amount of length today.
Caro dumps one into right field in front of Jason Dominguez to lead off the second inning with a single. Yeah, he used up a lot of his, let's say, 65 to 70 pitches with those pitches in the first.
Yeah, Carroll's always been a guy that shoots the ball the other way really well, and it's been a struggle for him this year. But he's going to get to play more now that Kyle Teal is hurt again. He just drops it in front of Dominguez. Frustration for Max Fried. Not a ball that's hit hard, but placed really well.
And there's a lot of chatter that the White Sox also looking for a catcher because Teal is probably out for the rest of the year. And there's a strike to Acuna.
Really good speed here, Michael. He's been swinging the bat better as of late. Doesn't get a lot of at-bats, but he's 8 for his last 17 in 9 games.
Up the middle, knocked down by Fried. He goes to second one. That's all they'll get.
Well, that's athletic. Meredith was talking about he wanted to be more athletic on the mound. That is athletic. This is a Gold Glover that does a lot of things right as he's facing it. And kind of looks like it hits his glove, then his leg, and he's got the presence of mind to look down. A lot of times we look up. He looked straight down. The other thing that I think really improved from his time on the IL is the depth of his curveball. His curveball was lacking the depth that it had last year. That is not the case right now.
Trying to pick off Acuna. He has 15 stolen bases, which is the most on the team. And he came over to the White Sox in a deal that sent Luis Robert Jr. to the Mets. And his brother Ronald Acuna Jr. just got activated tonight after another long IL stint. And he's playing the Mets tonight at Citi Field. Off the glove of Sanchez, Acuna is going to second, and he makes it. He was not running, and the ball hit off the glove. See if they scored that a pass ball.
Yeah, and you see the speed of Acuna. He's got elite speed. He's a very good base runner, very good base stealer, and he just reads it well. And the easier ones to read are the ones that go left or right, not the ones that go straight in front of a catcher or just right behind.
And that is a pass ball. Check swing, and Grichuk fouls it back on the 3-0 pitch. So they're looking at Fried and saying he's got great command, and he's going to throw a strike on 3-0, and they've turned two batters loose on 3-0. Both foul balls, though. And he waved through that one, 3-2.
The big thing is you have to understand which hitters are capable of making good decisions. And those are the guys that you turn loose. And a lot of times you learn that during the course of a season, and it might be on a 3-1 pitch or a 2-0 pitch, what they're doing. And then you say, hey, I trust this guy.
The old inside move, chasing back Acuna. Three-two. Strike three. Grichuk down looking. And that'll bring up Murakami. And Joe got into the spirit. What is that, Joe?
This is a Murakami stick, and it's sushi, and it's like, you know, you put, this is the soy sauce in here, and you stick it in the bottom.
Right.
And you just push up. It's like a push-up. And there it is. It's really good, Michael.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever had sushi.
Do you know me, Joe? Do you think I've had sushi?
There's a couple.
Wearing the jersey of the Swallows, a team he played for in Japan.
Michael, when you watch him hit, his hands are over the plate. And he has to pull them back a little bit. But he is all over that dish.
They debuted those sushi push-up pops at the ballpark Friday. So you are right on top of the trend. Let's check out the leaders, brought to you by your local Tri-State Buick dealers. Rookies. Okamoto leads with 23. Murakami next, one behind. And Stewart, Basayo, and Weatherholt. And he's got 22 home runs after missing 35 games on the IL.
And he didn't hit one for a while when he came back either. He came back right before the All-Star break, played a game, then sat down for 3 or 4 days, and now is playing again.
Now, I know that this is an issue that you need longer than an inning, but there has to be a separate category for guys that were established veterans in Japan to come here and be looked at as a rookie when they're playing against real rookies that have not played at high levels. It's just weird.
I agree. He was a two-time MVP in the Central League. He had the Triple Crown in the Central League.
Right.
I mean, this is an experienced player.
Absolutely.
Sometimes players don't come over until they're like 29, 30. He's 26. He's pretty young still.
And there doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to when they consider Japanese players rookies, because Angel Baroa won the Rookie of the Year over Hideki Matsui, which is ridiculous. There's a strike. And for that very reason is why the NHL has an age restriction on Rookie of the Year.
I did not know that. And what is that age restriction? 25?
I believe so. I'm going to check, but I know there is an age restriction. Well, this is a quote-unquote rookie. Joe told you all about what he's done. A gold medalist in the Tokyo Olympics. An all-star this year in the American League. Two-time MVP. You must be 26 or younger in the NHL. So 1-2 to Vargas. 3-0 White Sox. Sox have runners on first and second with 2 men out. Line foul.
Yeah, we were told his pitch count was about 65. He's already at 52, and these have not been easy innings. The only concern for me is you don't have Yarborough. He threw 50-something pitches yesterday. Blackburn threw a couple innings on Saturday. The guys that have distance you may not want to use.
And they keep fouling pitches off and driving that count up. Almost looked like he crossed up Sanchez, or Sanchez reached for that ball.
Well, it was a curveball that you're anticipating to be down, and it was up. So in your mind, you're like, okay, I might have to block this. I might have to block this. And it was way up and away. The arm didn't catch up to the lower half.
He's thrown 54 pitches, Joe, and 16 foul balls. So drives it up.
Well, this is a really good offense, and if you look at the way it's constructed today, you have 3 pretty experienced guys at the top to lead all the young kids down below.
Swing and a miss. He chased that curveball. Well, Max Fried didn't allow a run, and Joe Girardi did not allow Fish to get by him. He devoured that sushi stick. Yeah. All right, we like to call this segment, how about that? It's about Murakami. During his career in Japan was nicknamed Murakami-sama, or God Murakami, a phrase named the country's 2022 buzzword of the year. We told you that second one. Third one, first request to the White Sox was to install Japanese bidets in the clubhouse, inspiring a partnership with Japanese bathroom company Toto and a sponsored bobblehead.
Interesting. I guess when you sign a couple years for 34, 35 million, you can ask for what you want.
That almost hit Spencer Jones. And I heard they installed it right away. It wasn't like he was waiting for bidet. It got there quickly.
JJ?
Another opportunity for Spencer Jones with the injury to Bellinger. Check swing foul ball. Now he's been up twice. This is his third time. Did better the second time that he was up. But even the second time where he hit the ball more, he still struck out 38.3% of the time. Two and two. Never gets cheated on a swing.
Every time you come up and you get sent down, you should take something from those at bats to say, okay, this is what I need to work on. These are the improvements I need to make.
That one just missed. Sanchez on deck. We're in the third inning. It's 3-0 Chicago. This is the first day of 7 straight days that the Yankees will be in Chicago. 4 games against the White Sox. And then over the weekend, 3 games at Wrigley Field against the Cubs.
So nice for the players. You can actually unpack your suitcase. One hotel.
That one is looped into left field. Grichuk coming on, dives and makes the play. Took a hit away from Jones.
Yeah, and he is not necessarily known for his defense. He's slightly below average when it comes to outs above average, but he gets a really good job. Lays out for this ball, never takes his eye off the ball, and you can see it. After it hits the glove, he closes his eyes, and he's able to slide on that nice wet grass, Michael. Noah Schultz appreciates it.
Ali Sanchez takes the strike. Sanchez actually hit better than the Yankees were expecting. He's at 256. Done a good job behind the plate.
And it's almost become a platoon situation because he's hit lefties really well.
Catcher is challenging the ball call.
So Caro with an ABS challenge presented by T-Mobile. And he was right.
Ball's overturned. Chicago has 1 remaining.
Catcher on catcher crime right there. But he's hitting 348 off of a lefties, and it, you know, for Austin Wells, who's had a tough year, who's starting to swing the bat better, he can concentrate on hitting righties and trying to, instead of having to hit them both.
So Joe, let me throw this at you. The biggest rumors about the trade deadline, which is August 3rd at 6 p.m., is that the Yankees are looking for a right-handed hitting catcher. Do you have a problem with a catcher joining a team so late and knowing the staff and learning it quickly?
I think it's extremely hard because it takes months to learn a staff. And, you know, I think with Cody Bellinger going on the IL, it might have changed what they were thinking, too. Like, we just need a big bat. I don't care where he's at. We need a big bat because, I mean, let's face it, you could be without Judge, Stanton, and Bellinger for the next 6 weeks.
Right.
That's a long time. That's a lot of games.
And there's strike 3 as Sanchez down looking. 5th strikeout for Schultz. Let's take a look at the injury report brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. So it was revealed today as a grade 2 hamstring strain, and that means 4 to 6 weeks. That's a lot of time. So he's currently on the 10-day IL. That's something the Yankees did not need. Here's a Schumann.
I mean, realistically, you could say that they're missing their 2, 4, and 5 hitters in the lineup.
Yep.
Or 3, 4, 5. I'll put Judge second. So it'll be 2, 4, 5.
Schumann to right field and making the catch with the ice cream cone. is Braden Montgomery as the Yankees go down in order. Schultz has retired 7 in a row. 2 diving plays in the inning. Well, it's time for Pinstripe Pride, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. Tonight's picture is of Sophia and Trey, who had a nice time at the stadium last week. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride and mention yes in pictures you post to social media to reflect your love for the Bronx Bombers. We might spotlight you in a future game. Trey's tall. Well, Max Fried comes out to pitch the third.
Looks like he's in the yes booth right there.
Yeah, it looked like it, right? Yeah. So here is Colson Montgomery. 2 Montgomerys and a Mydroth. 55 pitches at this point for Fried. And there is somebody up in the Yankee bullpen. So I'd say he's got 10 pitches at most. I want him to get him to that point at least, because then next time out it can go maybe to 80 or to 75. And because of the injuries to the staff with Rodon going down, they were doing bullpen games or having Fried get his pitch count up here. First one it worked out.
Yeah, in this one he has not been so fortunate. He needs a couple of those guys down there to give you a couple innings. He has struggled with his sinker tonight. It has not been on point. I think his other stuff has been good, but his sinker has had a hard time commanding it.
This is his 5th 3-ball count. That's not him. And he ends up walking Colson Montgomery. His 2nd walk issued. So now he's at 59 pitches, and here is Chase Mydroth. And a strike.
That might be the first sweeper he's thrown all game.
Colson Montgomery just 1 stolen base. He leads off first, held there by Goldschmidt. Let's see if this is 2. There's 1. And there's 2. Helped out because it was slowed down by hitting off the mound. Allowed Josh Chisholm to get right there, start the 4-6-3 double play. And every time the Yankees turn a double play, it's the Powerball double play. Two and 0. Three and 0.
Yeah, you can see the frustration. There's that sinker that it's been going up and away to right-handers or up and in to left-handers. He's had not been able to get it down.
Well, this is definitely his last batter. Now he's at 65 pitches with that one. So they'll let him finish this batter off.
Spring training, they were known to pull him in the middle of an at-bat. They were really strict.
Take a look at the Yankee bullpen budget, brought to you by Citizens. Make sense of your money with Citizens. Those are the guys that pitched last night, so you're not going to use Yarbrough for sure. You want to stay away from Bednar, I would think. But they're going to need Ling. High pop-up. Caballero. And foul territory coming in. and puts it away for the final out. So 3 full innings for Max Fried. He's allowed 5 hits and 3 runs. We go to the 4th. It is 3-0 White Sox. Go all in on game nights with MLB Plus. Stream MLB Network 24/7 and select out-of-market games every week, plus live radio broadcast of every game, game day 3D, big inning, and minor league action. Visit MLB.com/MLB Plus to subscribe today. 3-0 White Sox. Max Fried knows that's about it for him. He's going to get a handshake from Aaron Boone. He's reached his pitch limit. They don't need to push him and maybe aggravate an injury or re-aggravate an injury. So now they'll have to get the final either 5 innings or 6 innings out of the pen.
You know, Michael, he has 20 wins at 26 parks. Not here. And he's going to have to wait another year unless they see him in the playoff.
2-1 on Rice. Rice, Goldschmidt, and Dominguez. So against Pittsburgh, he was just outstanding. Tonight, he labored a bit. The 5 hits and the 3 runs. Well, Schultz is dealing much better than the scouting report would tell you that he is.
He's unpredictable. Like, he'll throw a sinker out over the plate, and then he'll throw one way up and in, and I don't think he's doing it on purpose. I think he's aiming down the middle all the time, but it can't be a comfortable at bat.
Check swing by Rice and the count 3-2.
And you would hope that the second time through the Yankees would have better at bats than they did the first. I think about Schumann. He lined out hard to right on his second at bat after striking out the first. Can they put together a few hits? It's only 3-0.
And there is a walk to Rice. Let's take a look at pitching decisions presented by Sage on Mr. Schultz.
Well, he's 6'10", and he gets down the hill pretty good, and there's a good 4-seamer up. There's a sinker that starts away and comes back, and then a sinker that starts in and comes back to the inside corner. So he's made some good pitches when he's had to.
That's his line so far.
You know what we haven't seen from him, Michael, is his sweeper. His sweeper gets hit really hard, especially by right-handers. Right-handers have a 750 slug off his sweeper. He hasn't thrown them.
Goldschmidt has the Yankees' only hit, a 2-out single, just past Murakami. That was in the first inning. So 2 base runners. That single and the walk to Rice to start off the 4th. Two and two.
See, he'll throw a sinker like that, and then he'll throw one that starts in and runs back over the plate to a right-hander. And I don't think he's trying to throw 2 different pitches. It's just he gets out of sync because he's 6'10", and he's young. And you see Carroll telling him, come right at me. Don't fall off to the right. Because when you fall off to the right, the ball goes to the left. Kid's probably saying, that's easy for you to say. You're 5'8".
And 2 straight walks to start the inning. First and second and nobody out. And that'll bring up Jason Dominguez. Let's check out one of today's player props brought to you by Bet365, where winning is everything. Jason hitting 1 or more home runs, plus 675. Well, Schultz has thrown 12 pitches this inning, Joe, and the Yankees have swung at one of them.
Yeah, I mean, patience becomes important on someone when they lose the strike zone. And for Dominguez, look, I'm not saying take the first pitch, but I'm saying it's got to be a good pitch to hit. Kind of narrow your zone down, maybe something you can drive in a gap here, set up a big inning, maybe get a run in second and third with nobody out. Don't try to get them all at once.
Strike 1-1 on Dominguez, who struck out in the first inning. 22-year-old left-hander made his major league debut on April 14th. Former first rounder. Ground ball and through for a base hit. Rice held up, so he can only advance to third. It's a single for Jason Dominguez, and the Yankees have the bases loaded, but nobody out.
Yeah, that's an interesting decision by Ben Rice because the ball's on the ground and you have to go. And he goes back. He's not going to score anyway because this ball's hit hard. He's not going to score anyway. But the one thing that you got to go to third there. It's not a line drive. Yeah, he just
brain cramp, right?
Yeah, I mean, it happens. Believe me, it happened to me. Where you think you see something and you're like, oh no, that's not right.
I think that's what he's saying to Rojas.
I think
Rojas
he said I
tapping
messed
on the
up.
bat.
Yeah, but I don't think he was going to score anyway necessarily. Well,
Chris Murphy is warming up. They're not going to wait that long.
No, they're not.
So Zach Bove, the pitching coach, goes out and talks with Schultz, settle him down. He's got himself into quite a pickle here. Bases loaded, nobody out. Yankees down 3-0.
And if you're on the staff with the White Sox, obviously there's a sense of urgency because you want them to trade and help you not to fall out of this.
Here's Volpe. And the count 1-0. Rice at third, Goldschmidt at second, Dominguez is at first. And a strike, 1-1 on Anthony. And that one is chopped over the mound. One play and they make it at first. Run scores, RBI for Volpe, and the Yankees are down now 3-1 as Goldschmidt moves to third, Dominguez to second, and Rice scores.
The mistake that Anthony makes here is he hits it to the only guy in the infield that's faster than him, and he could charge it so hard that he was able to get him by a half a step. But you got one run in, you got two guys over, pretty good at bat.
And you also knock out Schultz as Will Venable will go to his bullpen. He's going to bring in the lefty Chris Murphy with Jazz Chisholm coming up. Yankees down by 2. Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by your Tri-State Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyOffers.com. By Amazon, spend less on your kids for back to school. And by the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Deals so right, they almost feel wrong. Only at your local Hyundai dealer. Shortstops, White Sox and the Yankees, as Chris Murphy, who's been hot in his last 14, will face Jazz Chisholm. And the pitch is in the dirt, blocked by Caro. Now the Yankees have runners on second and third and one out. The White Sox will let a run score if it's to ground it to one of the middle infielders. They are in at the corners.
Michael, you brought up the 2.57 the last 14 games. His first 10 games, he was a 6.55. And they gave him a message. They sent him down and said, Chris, if you throw strikes, your stuff will play here. And he's come back and done such a better job. I mean, he's got 99 in the tank, but strikes at times have been issues. And when he throws strikes, he's pretty filthy.
Fouled away, 1-1. 28 years old, Murphy is, and those are the numbers Jazz has against him. And he changed socks during the offseason. Came over from Boston in a November trade for minor league catcher Ronnie Hernandez. Two and one.
I was wondering where you were going with that when you said he changed socks. I'm thinking, well, I change socks every day.
Some people don't. Since June 11, Jazz 2 for 24. Runners in scoring position. but those numbers just went up as he rips one into the gap in right center field. That's going to tie the game. It's a 2-run double for Jazz Chisholm. It's a 3-3 game.
Well, now he's 3 for 3 off of him with a home run and a double and just a big hit. He hangs him a breaking ball, and Jazz did a really good job of staying on this, not trying to do too much, hitting a long, hard line drive in the alley, and it gets 2 in, and now the Yankees are back. It's just a beautiful swing. He had struck out his previous 5 at-bats. He came up big, and the Yankees are going to need Jazz to come up big in this situation because he really hasn't got real hot yet to where he can carry a team like we've seen him do, and they're going to need him to step up with all these injuries.
Pitch to Caballero's outside. Again, they're in at the corners. Caballero has a propensity, has shown a propensity to bunt. A lot of Yankee fans, let's go Yankee chant, and they're booed down by the White Sox fans. So the Yankee offense just takes Max Fried off the hook.
Michael, I was in Starbucks this morning, and you were talking about all the Yankee fans cheering. And there was a family from Indiana. They were Yankee fans, and they drove over to see us today. And it was a mother, a father, an 8-year-old girl, and a 5-year-old boy. And I took some pictures with them, and I said, bring them some luck today. And they said, we're going to try.
Well, it took to the 4th inning to kick in, but yeah. Runner goes. White Sox were just sleeping. And Jazz Chisholm takes 3rd with his 28th stolen base.
Now they got to bring the infield in. And what happens when you start walking a lot of people, you know, the pitcher's not paying attention, and that's just lack of communication on the infielder's part, telling him he's going, he's going, he's going. Sometimes you fall asleep when there's a lot of balls thrown.
3-2. Count is full on Caballero. 3 runs already in. And there's a walk. So the free passes are biting the White Sox pitching in this inning.
Yeah, that's the 3rd one this inning. It started with a couple walks, and then a single, a ground out, and then a double, and now another walk. Spencer does not hit the ball on the ground a lot. And if you're Jazz, Carroll, who loves to throw to the bases, pick people off, you have to be careful. And Caballero's got to be careful too. If they throw a ball inside, he tries to pick you at first.
Foul back. Now when Jazz stole 3rd, that's his 10th steal of 3rd this year. That leads the majors.
Yeah, those are huge. It makes it easier for you to drive someone in. And it looked like Carroll had a play on there with Vargas where they were going to try to pick Jazz off. Jazz has to pay attention. He can't get too big of a secondary lead.
Weird foul ball right off the hands, almost fouled straight back.
Michael, I broke my thumb like that in the minor leagues. I hit a ball actually off my thumb.
Came close there, right?
Yes. And I was so embarrassed. I finished the game, caught the 9th inning, and then told the team about it.
The 0-2 fouled away.
I mean, this has been a pretty good approach. I don't know how this at-bat's going to turn out. We have not seen a big swing and miss. We've seen him try to hit the ball the other way, stay on the fastball. Hopefully, if he throws him a breaking ball, he's right on time like Jazz was.
Runner goes, and they stay out of the double play. Beautiful play by Mydrop. he will get Spencer Jones, but scoring is Jazz, and that gives the Yankees a 4-3 lead.
That's a really good at bat for Spencer Jones, and I talked about trying to make progress every time you're up, cutting down your swing, and he still hit the ball extremely hard to get the run in off a tough lefty. A lefty is throwing 97 miles an hour. A breaking ball, don't try to do too much. You notice no swing and miss. His helmet stayed on, and it's a productive at bat. Really good, Spencer.
So now Caballero's at second, and that brings up Sanchez with 2 outs. Slowly to third, Vargas charges and fires and gets him. And that'll do it. But the Yankees get 4 big runs. They come back, and they lead this one by 1, 4-3. Well, join the Yankees Saturday, August 8th, as they celebrate their 78th Old Timers Day, presented by Fresh Direct. Arrive early and see your favorite Yankee legends. Put on the pinstripes and take the field again. Tickets going faster. Get your tickets today, Yankees.com. Moon just coming up over the outfield scoreboard. Not quite full, but close. Yankees will go to the bullpen now after Fried gave them 3. It's Angel Chavihi is the first out, and boy, he's been really good of late. Meredith, you caught up with him.
Michael, he really has been outstanding. He has not allowed an earned run since June 5th when he was added to the roster. I asked him what he thinks all of that success has been about, and he said more than anything, it's been staying ahead of hitters. He feels like he's been able to keep guys in uncomfortable counts and therefore dictate the at-bats. He said when he runs into the bullpen, his mindset is always the same. Just focus on doing his job, execute pitches in quality pitches in high leverage spots. Now, he's had a lot of success with his changeup. Batters just 3 for 25 against that pitch in particular since June 5th. When I asked him about the change, he said it is not just that changeup. It's a combination of his fastball and his changeup. They have the same release point, and he says that keeps hitters guessing and allows them to get a lot of swing and miss with that change. Yankees have been incredibly encouraged, Michael, with what they have seen from him since June 5th.
And they didn't even know when he went on the IL with the shoulder issue whether they'd see him this year. But he came back, worked his way through it, and he's been a big high-leverage force for the Yankees out of the pen. And he strikes out Everson Pereira to start off the 4th inning.
Yeah, you got a guy that chases a lot, and he used his slider extremely well, and then he went to that changeup that Meredith's talking about, and that is filthy. Depth on it. You got to respect the 98. And I just think about the progress that I've seen in this young man since spring training. The biggest thing is he's throwing strikes and getting ahead.
And that one is lined right at Chisholm as Caro is retired. 2 away. Now we're cooking up something special with Hexclad. Join the hybrid revolution at hexclad.com. Yankee bullpen has been something special this season. They're 2nd in ERA, 4th in opponent's average against, 2nd in ground ball percentage and home runs per 9 innings.
They were first up until yesterday, and they had kind of a rough day yesterday. Yarborough ran into all kind of bad luck. Didn't give up any hard hit balls. They gave up like 5 runs. It's the most amazing thing I've seen. And I believe the Red Sox moved in front of them.
Yes. The 0-1. Grounded. Through for base hit. Acuna picks up a 2-out single.
Didn't necessarily hit it really hard, but he got it right in the hole, and it's a slider that backs up. And it allows him to pull it in that hole, and now you got to worry about him running. He's got excellent speed. Michael, you talked about he leads the White Sox in stolen bases with 15.
Here's Grichuk. Now they've got lefties on the bench, but they're staying with Grichuk against the right-hander. They've got Antonacci, Benintendi, and the All-Star Tristan Peters. And they also have a switch hitter, Drew Romo. But Will Venable not going to the bench in the 4th. Snap throw to first, diving back Acuna.
Well, Michael, you know how I like to work backwards, right? I start thinking about this game. You got a 1-run lead. The bullpen's been very good. You get 2 out of Trevisi. You get 3 out of Cruz and Hedrick, and you get 1 out of Bednar, and you're through the game. How do you like it?
It sounds okay, but would they want to use Bednar 4 out of 5 days?
He didn't work yesterday, and he worked 2 in a row, and then had a day off on Thursday. So he worked Friday, Saturday, off Sunday. It would be 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4 would stay.
I think they would definitely do that.
Okay. For Bednar, it would end up being 4 out of 6. That one goes to the backstop.
Yeah, he's had a little trouble with his slider backing up.
And there's what we're looking at. Grounded sharply to Volpe. Goes the short way, and that will do it. As Trevisi works a scoreless 4th inning, we go to the 5th. It's time to name that Yankee, brought to you by Prevagen, made for your brain. This is a 254 average, 434 home runs, 1,289 ribbies, with the Yankees finishing his career in 11-12. The Braves, Dodgers, Rangers. Oh, I've got this.
Oh, me too.
Okay.
I mean, Troy in the truck always, you know, our producer always puts so much pressure on me. He's like, if you don't get this, you should just go home.
Not right.
I mean, it's no.
New pitcher is Trevor Richards, and he gets that one past Schumann. Now, Schumann struck out looking in the 1st inning, and he challenged the strike 3 call, and he got it wrong. And he had been 7 for 7 on ABS challenges before that, and that was the most in Major League Baseball without missing one. Well, he missed one.
He's not used to being up in the 1st inning, so he wasn't quite prepared.
Not locked in.
No.
Yep. Did he go? Yes, he did. So Schumann down on strikes, 1 away here in the 5th.
Michael, that changeup is, I believe, what they call the kick changeup, and it's got as much depth as any changeup in baseball. Don't want to get to that 2-strike count off of this young man.
Well, they're going off your script, Joe, if they go to Hill.
Well, they're not going off my script because I wasn't necessarily using Hill today, but they must feel better bringing in Hill off of these power hitters that are coming up and 2 lefties.
And 2.
There's going to be a lot of ink on that card by the time this game's over.
See my cousin there. He's supposed to start tomorrow. Anthony Kay. Yeah. Acuna. Boy, Rice was really hustling down the line when he gets nabbed by Acuna's throw.
Isn't it amazing, though, they always know exactly how much time they have? Infielders. I mean, that's just a great internal clock. No panic, no rush. Takes his time, makes a good, strong throw. But, I mean, it's a step, but it's been plenty of time. That's why managers get gray hairs, infield coaches.
I'm always fascinated, Joe, that whichever brilliant mind invented this game,
yes,
that they came up with 90 feet for the bases. Because, I mean, how many people are out by an eyelash?
It's unbelievable. ball is the opposite of Caballero. He's ready right away. I mean, there's 13 seconds left, and he's already ready. I just wouldn't want to stand there that long.
3-1 on Goldschmidt. Single in the walk. Yeah, the pitcher could really milk that clock.
Yeah.
Slow ground ball. Vargas charges and can't handle it. And that allows Goldschmidt to reach.
You know, he was a little bit casual on that ground ball, and I think he knew the speed of the runner. But I would think if you're the White Sox, you'd say you need to attack this ball a little bit harder. He just boots it. He doesn't bend over far enough.
And it's an E5.
Pitcher showing a little emotion there.
Here's Dominguez. Had hit his last time up. He's 1 for 2. Also scored a run. Well, the White Sox are in first place. They lead the Guardians by 2.5 games. They've been in first place this year for 43 games. From 2020 through the end of last year, they've been in first place for 7 games, 7 days. And that was probably at the beginning of the season.
So 2020 through 25, 7 days?
22 to 25.
22 to
7 days. And this year, 43 days. Quite a turnaround. Swings on 3-0 and lofts it to center field. Pereira went back, now comes in and puts it away for the final out. No runs, no hits, 1 error and 1 man left. We're halfway through. It's 4-3 Yanks. Well, Murakami will lead off this inning. He has 22 home runs. Let's take a look at all of them. The exit velocity presented by Spectrum. So the average exit velocity 107. And just a beautiful left center to right field foul ball.
And Michael, I got a comp for him.
Okay.
All right. He's the American League version of Kyle Schwarber.
That's quite a compliment.
Yep. When you look at the numbers, Tim Hill's on. I'm going to keep him on the ground here. And if you look at these numbers, look at the homers per at bat, the strikeout rate, the walk rate, and the hard hit rate. It's pretty close.
It's kind of incredible that he did not get that much love in the free agent market.
I can't believe it.
White Sox took a chance, and I think $34 million for 2 years.
And he's only 26 years old?
Yeah. Chop to second, backing up. Outfield grass is Jazz, and 1 away. Here's Miguel Vargas against Hill.
He's used that pitch a little bit more this year. That slider that it's a slider that goes up. Goes across, but it goes up, and they're supposed to go down.
Line drive, it's a base hit to left center field. Vargas will round first. He's going for 2. The throw to second is not in time. Yankees did not hurry on that ball, and Vargas noticed it and got a double out of a single.
Well, Spencer Jones has not been up enough and probably doesn't understand that Vargas is a very smart player, and he runs hard, and he's actually above average speed, and he gets in there pretty easy. That's just a heads-up play on his part. Look, he's running right away, Michael. He sees it somewhat in the gap, and he knows that Jones is going to his right, and as a left-hander, he has to do a circle to turn around and throw, and he ends up on second base. Heads-up player.
And he takes off for third. There's a ground ball. And past the diving Jazz Chisholm into right field. Vargas will score, and the game is tied at 4. Well, at third base, stolen easily. But then he was driven in when Montgomery got one past Jazz Chisholm.
Well, Montgomery's been on all 3 times tonight. He has 2 RBIs. He has 2 singles. And he continues to really hit left-handers. And he uses the middle and the other way really well. And you know you're almost getting a fastball. And Jazz, it just comes up a little bit short. Good job by Jason Dominguez. Make a good decision and go to second base.
Well, he's going to take the ball from Tim Hill, Aaron Boone is. And he's going to signal to the bullpen with Mydroth coming up. So some hustle by the White Sox, and they have themselves a tie game. 4-4 here in Chicago. We're in the 5th. Be there live to see Liverpool FC take on Wrexham AFC in a soccer friendly this Wednesday at Yankee Stadium. Get your tickets now through Ticketmaster.com. Well, the White Sox have tied this game at 4, and the Yankees go to Fernando Cruz. And he will face Chase Mydroth. A lot of the damage you see on the line for Cruz comes in extra inning games. For some reason, he has not pitched well in extra inning games. But usually he's money when you see him 1 through 9. Mydroth lays off that pitch. It's a strike. Line and foul. I'm curious about something, Joe. You have the same vantage point as I do. You think the ball that was hit by Colson Montgomery sped up on Jazz and he didn't expect it to?
Yeah, and I think the wet grass.
Yeah, maybe it skipped.
Yeah.
One and 2. Here's the hit. It looked like he had it.
Yeah, and I think it took off.
Almost acted as if it was on artificial turf.
Yes, correct.
White Sox have 8 hits, the Yankees 3, but the score is tied at 4. White Sox are first in the American League in runs per game, 4.82, and 7th in the majors. So a pretty good offense. Grounded. Volpe goes to second, and that's all they'll get. And that brings up Braden Montgomery.
You talked about how he was a high pick in 24. He was actually a dual player in college. Threw 96 off the mound.
And a strike. Switch hitter batting from the left side against Fernando Cruz. RBI triple in the first, fouled out to Caballero at third in the third. Bounced up there, blocked by Sanchez. Tristan Peters has come out on deck to pinch hit for Pereira. Three and one. Mydroth just has 2 stolen bases, so he's anchored there at first. And there's ball 4. And so Peters will pinch hit for Pereira. He's been slumping the last couple of games. He's 3 for 26 last 8 games, but Matt Blake will go out and give a scouting report on Peters. And one of the reasons Peters didn't start tonight, he doesn't hit left-handed pitching that well, 129 against righties 302.
But you can see that if he doesn't start, he finds his way in a game, because this is his 101st game, and he did not start up in the big leagues, and they played, 105, 106. Excuse me, he did start, but he gets into most games somehow, some way.
White Sox with an opportunity to retake the lead. They were up 3-0. Yankees got 4 in the 4th. And now the White Sox score a run here in the bottom of the 5th, threatening in a 4-4 game. 1st and 2nd, 2 men out. Could not hold up there on the splitter, and the count 0-1.
Yeah, and he has good numbers against off of righties. Fastballs 299, breaking balls 304, and off speed, which is the change in the split, 314. So he has hit right-handers really well this year.
Grounded first base. Goldschmidt backs up, fields, and flips to Cruz, and that'll do it for the White Sox in the 5th. But they tied the score on 1 run, 2 hits, 2 men left. We go to the 6th. It's 4-4.
Justin Shackle with your Audi update. Tigers hosting the Orioles. Top of the 6th, base is empty. Nobody out, and Tyler O'Neill taking Tyler Holton deep to left center field. His 7th home run of the season. Baltimore goes on to win 8-5. The O's are currently 2 out of the final wild card. Detroit's 4 out with a week to go until the trade deadline, guys.
Well, thank you, Justin. We go around the majors, and Jeremy Pena, American League Player of the Week. C.J. Abrams, National League Player of the Week. And Ronald Acuna is activated off the 10-day IL. He had missed 38 games. And speaking of shortstops, Volpe leads off and fouls the ball back as we start the 6th inning. Big question marks about Pena of the Astros and Abrams of the Nationals. Are they available? Will somebody deal for them? Interesting times coming up. Again, August 3rd, the trade deadline. 1-1. And also, Justin gave that score. The Tigers are deciding, are they going to trade Tarek Skubal or not? And they just lost 3 straight games, Joe. And every game means so much when they make that decision. Are we in it or are we not?
Yeah, it's really tough, because you don't want to lose Skubal and not get anything in return, because he should get a haul if you trade him. And every game they lose just pushes him out there a little bit more. And here's the thing, right? I mean, you also have to look, okay, are we good enough to get in the playoffs? Maybe. Are we good enough to win a series or 2? That's the other thing I think you have to, because you can always sign Skubal back if you want. I don't think they will, but.
And Volpe is down looking.
There are so many teams that are within so little. You know, it's just really tight in the middle. It's a pretty good breaking ball by Richards there.
Hudson is up. You know, the way it's looking right now, Joe, you could actually say there could be 4 playoff teams out of the East. All 3
for sure
could come out of the East.
Oh, for sure.
Josh Chisholm.
And there seems like, in reality, there's only like 3 or 4 teams eliminated from each league. Everyone still is in it.
And a team that was in it and then kind of played its way out of it. The Marlins had a 12-game losing streak. That's over. They scored 3 in the 9th off of Duran to beat the Phillies 8-7. Unbelievable. And when the Phillies score 7 runs, they expect to win.
Yes.
Because they have not been scoring a lot of runs.
They had 11 last night.
Yeah.
7. Harper, I know, had an early home run in the first inning.
And Jazz Chisholm Jr. strikes out for the second time tonight.
I mean, that change is devastating. And when he gets ahead and he can throw this, boy, he is a tough pitcher to face.
Here's Jose Caballero, walked his last time up, 0 for 1. Jumps on the first pitch and fouls it off.
He's another guy they got to get going with the way this team is constructed, because you don't need a lot of hits to score him, because he can steal bases, score on doubles.
And seeing him play third base today shows you that the Yankees are somewhat concerned about Rosario hitting against left-handers.
Yeah, he's just really fallen off, which is really unusual.
Popped up back here and out of play. Also, Joe, I think they were fearful of having Rosario play third base with freedom.
With Max, because you expect a lot of ground balls on that cutter that he throws in there, the curveball, do they roll over it? Yeah, and I know, like, when I had CC, I wanted my best third base defense. When I had Ranger Suarez, I wanted my best third base defense. And you do that. And I've been impressed how Caballero's played second base as well.
Strike 3, Caballero down looking. Strong inning for Trevor Richards as he strikes out the side. Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Learn more at genesis.com. And by Mohegan Sun, beyond your wildest. Through the years of the Yankees and the White Sox, some great players. We know that guy.
There he is. He called me early this morning.
Woke you up or were you up?
No, I was up.
Okay.
But he had no idea that we got to the hotel at 2:15 a.m.
Well, he doesn't do the road, so. Here's Caro. But he also knows that you get up every day about 6:30 in the morning, no matter when you go to bed.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I never understood that. I hear that from my wife, too. If you're tired, why wouldn't you stay in bed?
Because I had work to do.
At 6:30 in the morning?
Well, I was not up at 6:30. I stayed in bed till 8.
Oh, okay. That's a lot for you. 2-0. The 2-0. 2-1. Brent Hedrick is up for the Yankees. Cruz came on to get the final 2 outs of the 5th. Now starting the 6th against Caro. And a strike. You know, I told you that, the White Sox have been in first place for a number of days, and I think it's finally catching on in Chicago, Joe. Because in their last 30 games here at Rate Field, they've averaged 27,738 fans per game.
Oh, that's great.
In the first 21 games this year, coming off an awful year, they averaged 17,000. So people are saying, hey, this is real. Let's go out and see the White Sox.
You should be excited about it. There's a lot of talented players here.
Ground ball, Goldschmidt to Cruz. 1 down. Right now, they're 2.5 games ahead of the Guardians, 3.5 against the Twins, and Tigers have lost 3 in a row. They're 6.5 out.
It is amazing how many teams are just around 500 in baseball this year.
You know, Aaron Boone was asked about that before the game. Do you think this is a weak American League? And he said, I think that teams are evenly matched now. There's a lot of parity, a lot of good teams out there. And so you're not going to have teams that are just running away with things. One and one. Bottom of the 6th inning, 4-4 game. First game of a 4-game set.
You know, I know we saw the graphic that he'd given up some runs in the last 2 of 3 games. His split has been inconsistent. I mean, we've seen it tonight. He's left a number of them above the zone and then some of them below the zone. He has not been able to find the strike one and then the put away one.
Shot toward third. Caballero fields, fires, got him. 2 down.
There's that perfect distance, Michael, that 90 feet where it makes it somewhat exciting.
So how about this, Joe? In the American League, there are 5 teams within 2 games of the last wild card. In the National League, 6 teams within 2 games of the final wild card. Wow. That's why you're going to have a hard time finding trading partners. So 2 down, Grichuk due up, and Boone's going to take the ball from Fernando Cruz. 4-4 game here in the 6th. Time to find the answer to Name That Yankee. Those are the clues. If you were paying attention yesterday, you also saw him. So
HOF.
Yeah.
Andrew Jones.
Burst upon the scene against the Yankees as a teenager, 2 home runs against Andy Pettitte in the 1996 World Series. Here they are.
I just want to note, I'm not calling those pitches.
Who was that behind the plate?
That's Jim Labritz. Jimmy, what are you doing, Jimmy? Oh, and he could play some defense, too. Always smiling. Funny guy.
Antonacci was announced as a pinch hitter for Grichuk, so that's why Boone went to Hedrick. And Hedrick sports the 2nd best ERA among American League relievers. So congratulations to Carlos Beltran, Andrew Jones, and Jeff Kent. And that one is lined to right field. Dominguez is there, puts it away. Also Paul Hoynes, Joe Buck, and Bill White. Great weekend in Cooperstown. Congratulations to all. Hall of Fame inductees, they gave their speeches yesterday. Andrew Jones, Carlos Beltran, and Jeff Kent. Most home runs by a 2nd baseman. The day before, Joe Buck, the Ford Frick Award. Paul Hoynes, longtime writer covering the Indians and the Guardians. He was in there as well. And Bill White got the Buck O'Neill Award. So a great weekend in Cooperstown.
A lot of home runs there, Michael. A lot of jogging around the bases.
There's Brian Hudson, the left-hander, and the Yankees counter with Rosario pinch hitting for Spencer Jones as we start the 7th inning of a 4-4 game. And that's going to be challenged by Caro.
Catcher is challenging the ball call.
ABS challenged by T-Mobile. And the catcher is wrong.
Ball confirmed. Chicago has 0 challenges remaining.
So 1-0 count on the pinch hitter, and Rosario fouls off the pitch. It's 1-1.
I tell you what, they got some tall pitchers. I mean, Hudson, look at the starter, 6'10". Hudson gets great extension. The interesting thing about Hudson to me is his fastball is all over the place, 90 to 95.
That one is squared down the right field line, and it's a fair ball just inside the line. Montgomery Fields fires into second, but it's a pinch hit leadoff double for Ahmed Rosario.
You know, Michael, maybe that's the hit that gets him going against left-handers. He went the other way with this. Looks like it's a cutter that's kind of cutting into him, and he goes the other way. And a pretty good play by Montgomery in right field. Told you he was through 96 as a pitcher in college, and he's got a really good arm, and he's got a number of assists, and he's really accurate. But a double.
So here is Ali Sanchez. They entered the corners.
Looking for a bunt here.
Tries to bunt, bunts through it. The throw to second, and it goes into center field. Rosario gets up, and he will go to third. They might have had him if it was a good throw, but it got past Acuna. The error will go to Caro, and now the Yankees have a runner on third with nobody out.
Well, he loves to pick base runners off, and you're taught this. If they bunt through a ball, the guy tries to get the jump. It's a pickoff, but he makes an inaccurate throw, his 6th error of the year, and now you just let Sanchez hit. The infield has to come in. Stabbing at that ball. That's a tough way to bunt right there.
He goes around the count 0-2. Sanchez 0 for 2 tonight, struck out looking, and a ground ball to third. Rosario, always a smile on his face, has a great time on the baseball field. Hudson deals. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Big strikeout for the left-hander. 1 down.
Well, the infield will stay in with Schumann, and it's, you know, sometimes you think about safety squeezes in these situations. But it's much harder when the first baseman doesn't have to hold the runner on at first because there's no one there, because they could cheat and charge a lot earlier.
Infield remains in. Fouled away.
And if you're Rosario, the one thing that you have to make sure is that your secondary doesn't get much further than Vargas gets off the base, because if it's hit hard to him, you won't be able to get back to third.
That one just missed. They don't have a challenge left. Righties hit worse against Hudson than lefties. Righties hit 233, lefties hit 273. One and two. Hudson is 6'8". Gets a lot of extension in his delivery. We'll take a look at the outfield arms. Good arms at left and right. Tristan Peters, it's a caution sign. 1-2. Still 1 and 2.
You know, Michael, I know a lot of times we give, like, those are averages for what guys throw. I'm a big proponent of always looking at their max velocity, because that's when you really got to let it go. And the max velocity on those guys is a little bit higher.
Popped up. Murakami gives it a look, but it's about 5 rows deep.
You know, I don't like what Meadroth is doing at second base. And I know you try to get that little hop when the ball's coming, you know, to start your, like, pre-pitch. But he's kind of jumping up and down, and he wasn't stopping. And it's got to be somewhat of a distraction to the hitter. As we see, I'm telling you, I'd say something if I was hit. And I don't know if there's anything you can do about it, but there's always something you can do about it.
You might have to wait till he comes up to the plate.
Yeah, well, like I said, there's always something you can do about it.
One and two. Runner at third, one out. Count levels at 2-2. Eighth pitch upcoming. That's shallow, might not get the run in. Antonacci will make the catch, tagging Rosario. And the throw comes all the way in, and Rosario scurries back. We told you it was a red light out there, and the Yankees knew it.
Yeah, and it wasn't deep enough, and it was, you know, with the wind, it was a little tricky for him to get behind it and come in, but it's so shallow, he's not able to score. And the other thing is you got your best RBI guy coming up. And Michael, you brought up Hudson has more troubles against left-handers.
But Rice obviously has done a pretty good job against left-handers. Infield backs up. Grounded foul. Papa John's key ingredients, and it speaks to that. He has an .835 OPS against lefties this season. Last year, about 100 points lower at .752. And there's a strike. 0-2. Yankees had a runner at third base, nobody out. Now, runner at third base, 2 outs, but their top RBI guy at the plate, 72 ribbies, Ben Rice. Foul back. Rice is 0 for 2 tonight. He was 2 for 13 in Philly, but he has walked and scored tonight. Slice foul. Let's take a look at the Optimum Fiber famously fast replay from last night.
He got out fast, Michael. His 31st home run of the year last year.
That was off of Tim Mesa. The 0-2. 1-2. We've got Goldschmidt on deck. Four game, top of the 7th inning. Runner at third base, 2 outs. Fourth White Sox pitcher, Brian Hudson. Lefty to lefty, deals. There's a base hit to right center field. Rosario scores, cutting the ball off his Montgomery. So Rice stays at first with a big RBI single, and the Yankees lead 5-4.
RBI number 73 got down to 0-2 in the count, and finally got a mistake from Brian Hudson and hits this line drive in the right center gap. Nice job by Montgomery cutting it off and coming up, throwing, keeping Rice to first base, but just a really, really big hit. Second most RBIs in the AL.
Here's Goldschmidt. Yordan Alvarez leads the American League in RBIs, and Rice is second. A big pinch hit double for Rosario. He comes around to score the go-ahead run. There's a strike. Whole right side of the infield is open. My drop shades up the middle, and Murakami holds the runner.
I see what you're doing there, Michael. You're willing a base hit through there, as we've seen him do so many times.
Yeah, he's done it.
A lot.
the pitch. Goes the other way, foul. And the 0-2. My drop Fields goes to second, gets the force, and that'll do it. But the Yankees got a run on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 man left. They lead 5-4. It's time for the stretch.
It's Justin and Jack with your Ford Studio update, and after a sluggish start and on a day in which they found out Cody Bellinger would be lost 4 to 6 weeks, it's been the other constant in this lineup, Ben Rice, coming through here in the 7th.
Yeah, the White Sox, when they scouted the Yankees for this game, probably said, don't let Ben Rice beat you. But with that at-bat right there, Justin, the RBI single off Hudson, he has put himself in position to help beat the White Sox. Yankees need 9 more defensive outs.
We'll see if they can hold on for the win. Jack and I have you on the postgame. Back to Michael and Joe.
Thank you, Justin and Jack. Let's check out tonight's Gusto game recap. 5-5-0 Yanks, 4-8-2 for the White Sox. Fried lasted only 3 innings. Ben Rice with that big go-ahead single, picking up an RBI to make it 5-4. Hedrick came in to get the final out of the 6th and now faces Murakami to start the bottom of the 7th. Yankees tighten up the defense with Trent Grisham taking over in center field after Rosario successfully pinch hit for Spencer Jones. Bounced up there all the way to the on-deck circle.
Yeah, this one doesn't quite get to the plate.
Got to his mask.
Yeah. Oh, Michael.
Right over us. So, baseball's a game of numbers now more than ever. We gave you the numbers that Hudson is better against righties than he is against lefties. You just heard Jack Curry from the studio say, the one thing they said in the pregame meetings, don't let Rice beat you. You've got a 38-year-old right-handed hitter on deck. It's kind of curious why you'd go after Rice in that situation.
Well, I think it's because of what Goldie has done off of left-handers the last 2 years. At 38, 37. He's at 335, and he's killed them. And I think that's why they did it. And just a great plan by Hedrick to Murakami. On anything other than a fastball, no, excuse me, he hits 143 on fastballs. He does not hit the fastball. He hits the breaking ball and the changeups off of lefties. He threw him 1 slider.
1-0 on Vargas. Vargas had a double in the 5th, came around to score on a Montgomery single, and that tied the game at 4. Now the Yankees are up by 1, 5-4. And a strike. You know, one of the keys, grounded up the middle, grabbed there by Volpe. Nice play, does the 360 and fires. And took a base hit away from Vargas for out number 2.
He goes really well to his left. And he has done this so many times where he can make this little pirouette and make an accurate throw and get a lot on it and keeps Goldie on the base. But you're going to see the hop, so he gets the great jump. He gets to it in plenty of time, and he makes a really strong throw. He goes to his left a lot better than he goes to his right. And every infielder, every catcher, every outfielder, there's always a way that you go better than the other. And sometimes you'll cheat towards your weakness.
That was a base hit off the bat of Montgomery into left center field. It's his 3rd hit of the game. We told you, a 333 hitter in 9 previous games against the Yankees. He's keeping it up tonight with 3 hits and a walk.
Yeah, and he's not afraid to go the other way off of lefties. Sometimes I think he should take this approach off of righties a little bit more because he's got so much power the other way.
Newcomb warming up for the White Sox. Another one of their left-handers. They have 4 lefties in the bullpen. Here's my drop. fouled away. One of the ways that you beat the White Sox is by keeping them in the park. 44.5% of their runs score via the home run, and that's the 7th highest in baseball. Now the Yankees are 3rd highest. 48.6% of their runs come via the home run. There has not been a home run in this game, and 9 runs have been scored.
You got me knocked on all this Formica over here.
It doesn't work on Formica. Drilled down the left field line. It is a base hit. Going to go to the wall. Let's see if Montgomery can score. Playing out there is Schumann. They're waving it home. Here's the throw from Volpe. Here's the play at the plate. He's out by about 5 feet. Perfectly executed by the Yankees.
Yeah, just an outstanding relay. Everyone did their job. Got to the ball in time, made a good feed to Volpe. Volpe makes a good feed to Sanchez. And this is an easy out for the Yankees. Boom, boom, and you're out.
By a lot. Time for the defender dynamic performance and performer.
Well, this is how you draw it up. As Schumann goes and gets it, he gets to it quickly. He hits Volpe with a 1-hop, easy throw for him. Volpe hits Sanchez with a 2-hop, and I think Volpe didn't actually get the seams. I think he kind of threw a palm ball, and that's probably why it bounced twice, but Sanchez stayed in there, made the scoop, looked the ball in, and it's an easy tag.
Sean Newcomb comes on for the White Sox. First pitch is fouled back by Dominguez as we start the 8th inning. Newcomb, the 10th pitcher and the 32nd player to appear in this game. Grounded deep to third. Vargas fields a long throw, and it's beaten out by Jason Dominguez, who has good speed.
Yeah, Vargas is kind of casual at third base, as I've noticed on a couple of plays. Like, there's no sense of urgency as he looks this ball in. And he came up as a second baseman with the LA Dodgers, so it's much different playing. But Dominguez could fly. And now you allow him to get to first base, and maybe the Yankee can get a little breathing room here.
There's Volpe. And a strike from Newcomb. So how about this, the science of baseball? All the thought that goes into every little bit of matchup and stuff like that. Joe, they found out that Sean Newcomb was tipping pitches. And this is what he did. A teammate noticed that he stopped chewing gum when he was going to throw a breaking ball.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it takes a teammate. And
that one is ripped into center field in front of Peters for a base hit as Dominguez stops at second.
And it could be someone shared it with his teammate or something, and you find out. And this guy, the last 2 years, has had awesome numbers out of the bullpen. He's a multiple inning guy. He's got 6 different pitches. He's better against righties than lefty. Just another good swing by Volpe. Volpe's had a really good trip offensively. And the Yankees got something cooking, Michael.
First and second, nobody out. Here's Jazz Chisholm Jr., the left-handed batter against the lefty Newcomb. And he bunts. It's a push bunt. It's a good bunt. Newcomb fields, fires, and they do not get Jazz. The ball gets away, and that allows Dominguez to score and Volpe to move to third. The Yankees are up by 2, 6-4.
Michael, I absolutely love that because you put pressure on the pitcher. This is a perfect bunt by Jazz Chisholm, and I've talked about they're going to have to do some things different here because there's so many power hitters out of this lineup. Great read by Dominguez. He gets to third base really quickly, and you're going to see him. His head's up. He's watching. He finds the ball. And he's able to score, and now you got first and third. You got to run it, and there's still nobody out. Speed is such a great thing to have because when you have it, you put so much pressure on the defense. Love what Jazz did.
Jazz takes off for second. The throw comes to Maedroth-Way in front of the plate. So Jazz Chisholm with his second stolen base of the night. He's got 29 on the season. With the infield in, the Yankees have runners on second and third, nobody out. So the count 0-2.
This is unusual for Newcomb because in his last 27 games since the end of April, he had a 1.54 ERA. Not used to giving up runs.
Let's see if that's deep enough to score. Volpe. Catch is made. He's going to just bluff. The throw comes all the way home from Antonacci. One down.
You see Carroll go out and talk to Newcomb about how to attack Trent Grisham. He came in last inning for defense, but probably hadn't went over the plan and make sure that you're on the same page here.
Now, if you're keeping score at home, Jazz Chisholm gets a bunt single, and the E1 allowed Dominguez to score. So they give Newcomb the throwing error. And this will be Grisham's first at bat. 8th inning. The Yankees lead by 2, 6-4. Infield still in. Yankees have taken advantage of 3 White Sox errors tonight. Critical ones in the 7th and 8th innings.
And the White Sox defensively have been pretty good this year. I mean, the 14th fewest errors in baseball, so they're better than more than half the teams. Tonight, not so good.
Grounded to first. They're coming home. Here's the throw. He's out. Volpe's pointing to the dugout to take a look at it, but right now it's the second out as Chisholm moves to third.
Really a good slide there. Murakami, not an easy play because he had to jump. We're going to see. Take a look at it. I think Booney said it's getting too close to time. I'm just going to take a look at it because there probably won't be another challenge. Pretty good play by Murakami. Carroll kind of went out in front of the plate a little bit.
Ooh. Going to be tough to overturn.
I mean, I think there's probably a better angle that you might be able to see when he tags him. They could sync him up, maybe.
See, Volpe, as he's looking at it on the center field scoreboard, doesn't look like he's celebrating. It's going to be very tight to overturn this. The throw beat him.
It's a really good slide, though.
After review, the call on the field is confirmed. The runner is out. New York loses their challenge.
Yeah, as you look, his right hand doesn't touch the plate maybe till the end. I think the left one got there quicker, but I think he was able to tag that left arm.
See, Volpe kind of said, I'm not sure. Yeah, he went, Ali Sanchez pops it up behind the plate. Carroll gives it a look. And it's over the screen.
I think it's a great challenge just because what are the chances in the next inning and a half you're going to need a challenge? And you can get one in the 9th.
And I think that's the one flaw in the system because you could use your challenge and in the 9th inning go pretty please and they look at it.
Yeah.
So it's like, doesn't matter if you use it.
Yeah.
You have to use it now anyway. And I think you're right about what Boone did too. You know, they're taking looks. They want to make sure they tell him challenge or not. Because it's taking too long, so let's just.
Yeah, he didn't want to miss his opportunity. Take another look at this play. Murakami has to go up, and he makes a pretty accurate throw. And Volpe's not sure, and he's just telling him, I'm not sure, maybe. Good challenge.
Men's.
Good slide, too.
2-2. 3-2 with Schumann on deck.
If you're Grisham, you got to make sure that he goes home here. You're not trying to steal the base 3-2. You just got to make sure you don't get picked off.
Driven deep to left field. Going back, Antonacci on the track, looking up. See ya! A home run for Sanchez. A 3-run shot. And the Yankees take a 9-4 lead.
Wow, Michael, his first home run of the year. I don't think it could have came at a better time so far while he's been up to give the Yankees some breathing room. A big 3-run home run. What a big hit. Look at Aaron Judge. He's happy. The boys are happy. You know, he's done a really good job for the Yankees since he's been up here. Sending some people to the parking lots, Michael.
Schumann takes a strike.
Oh, we got a fastball in.
Grounded up the middle. Acuna gets Schumann, and that will do it. But the Yankees with 4 big runs. And for Ali Sanchez, his first career home run. A 3-run shot gave him more cushion. A celebration is on as the Yankees lead by 5. Well, tomorrow night on Yes, the Bronx Bombers play Game 2 of 4 here in Chicago against the White Sox. The extended coverage starts at 5:30 on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. So Ali Sanchez, first career home run. A 3-run blast, giving the Yankees a 5-run lead. Hyundai scoreboard 9-9-0, beating 4-10-3. Paul Blackburn comes on for the Yanks. And he faces Braden Montgomery.
You know what Ali Sanchez is going to do tonight if this game ends up with the Yankees winning?
Celebrate?
Sleep good. Really good.
So 2 weeks shy of 6 years since his major league debut, and he finally puts one in the seats.
How impressive has Paul Blackburn been out of the bullpen? I mean, he started as long relief, a spot starter. He's moved himself back to the later innings because he's been so effective. He can give you multiple innings. 5 pitches that he can go to.
Swing and a miss. 1 down.
What a sound, Michael. His first home run. I'm sure the security guards for the Yankees will find a way to get that baseball for him. He won't ever forget it, that's for sure. And it could be in a big win.
Tristan Peters fouls it back. Dominguez warming up. The Yankees have worked the bullpen with Max Fried only giving them 3 innings in his start. Up the middle, Volpe's there. 2 down.
You know, you go back to that 3rd inning where Max Fried was like at 59 pitches, 60 pitches with a runner on first in the 3rd inning and nobody out, and he got that big double play and it helped him get through the 3 innings. That becomes big when you're talking about trying to save innings for relievers.
Here's Caro. Foul back. And the double play came on pitch 61.
61.
Blackburn was a free agent at the end of last year and wanted to re-sign with the Yankees. He enjoyed playing here. He liked the message that they gave him and the stuff they gave him to work on, and it's paid off for both Yankees and Blackburn. Volpe. And they go down in order against Blackburn. 1, 2, 3 as we go to the ninth. Well, fans, stay tuned for tonight's WB Mason Yankees postgame as Justin Shackle and Jack Curry are back in the studio with highlights and analysis. Meredith Morakovitz gets player interviews in the clubhouse, and we'll hear from Aaron Boone on the manager's report. All coming up next on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. We go to the ninth inning. Sir Anthony Dominguez will be the sixth pitcher used by the White Sox. Crowd of 22,357 here at Rate Field. Dominguez has struggled last 13 appearances, as you can see. So they're getting him some work. Rice, Goldschmidt, and Jason Dominguez.
And you look at those last 13 games, Michael, walks have been the problem.
Rice had a big hit in the seventh inning to break the 4-4 tie. 2-out single to right center. So Dominguez leads the team with 12 saves, but he's no longer the closer because of his recent slump, kind of matching up to close out games. Signed a 2-year, $20 million deal with the White Sox in January. A strike.
I mean, the Yankees have seen him with Baltimore, Toronto. He's with the Phillies.
2-2. Doval heating up. Rolled slowly, third base side. Seeing eye base hit for Ben Rice. He hits the ball with such velocity all the time, but he gets a little luck that time to pick up a single.
I love Sir Anthony's reaction here. I mean, he goes hard after this. Thinks he's got an opportunity. He's like, nope. And the way he swiped at the ball, he's lucky he didn't go like flying away from him. Ben doesn't get too many of those. He doesn't get too many cheap hits.
So he's the king of exit velocity. That one was 47 miles an hour off the bat. Center field off the bat of a Goldschmidt. Going back is Peters on the track. He makes the play.
You know, he was kind of out in front of that ball and still hit that ball a long ways. As you saw him go down and have to kind of reach for it.
It was Dominguez. 2 hits and 4 at bats. Now, Jason Dominguez, perfect example of keeping your mouth shut. Because he got sent down, never said a word. Never said, I should be up here. Never said, I want to start. Never said, trade me. Just went down and worked. And with all of the injuries, Joe, he's become a really important part of what's happening.
I'm keeping my mouth shut.
There you go.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Michael. And he did it with a smile. Even in spring training, there was talk that he was going to AAA right away. And he went out and played hard and smiled all the time, went to AAA and did his job. And the phone is always going to ring, Michael. It always does. And as a player, you have to remind yourself, I want to be the one playing the best when the phone rings.
And it brings me back to a story that Phil Rizzuto used to tell. Phil Rizzuto was released in an awful way by Casey Stengel. You know, they had acquired Enos Slaughter, and they had to make room on the roster, and Casey brought Phil into the office. And so who do you think I should send down or get rid of to make room on the roster? And Phil went over different people, and Casey kept saying, no, no, no. And Phil goes, well, who's left? And Casey says, you. We're releasing you. And Phil said that his first reaction was to go to the media and just scorch earth. Kept his mouth shut. The next year he was hired to be the Yankee broadcaster, a job he had for 40 years. That one is looped toward third base. The catch is made by Vargas. The runner was going, so they'll get a double play as Rice was too far off of first. So the lesson in the top of the ninth inning, keep your mouth shut, and I will. Well, this MLB season, get a Baja for a blast. When a home run clears 420 feet, you can score a free 20-ounce Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Register now at BajaBlastHomeRuns.com to unlock the offer. Crowd filing out of right field as the White Sox trail by 5 in the bottom of the ninth inning. And the Yankees will bring in Camilo Doval to try to get the final 3 outs.
Had a really good outing last night. 3 strikeouts in relief. Came in with a couple runners on and struck out the side. It's been better as of late. And the big thing for him is being able to get ahead in the count and to throw strikes consistently, because his stuff has got a ton of movement.
So Andrew Benintendi will pinch hit for Acuna.
Last time he faced him, he hit a grand slam off.
Yep, I think the first pitch. Yankees took 2 out of 3 from the White Sox at Yankee Stadium. This is a 4-game set starting tonight in Chicago. You wonder what goes through the mind of Doval, who made an all-star game as a closer. They have not used him in many high-leverage situations, and he's kind of earned not being used in those spots. But now here he is, you know, with a 5-run lead in the ninth. How does he handle it? Down the right field line and caught by the ball boy.
He had no thought that Dominguez was going to get there. And he wasn't. Jazz likes it. Loves it.
One and two.
That's a really good pitch, because if my mind serves me correctly, the fastball that he hit was down middle in for the grand slam. And that last fastball he threw him was kind of down middle in. He hit it hard down the right field line. Throw something that looks just like it, and you get him out. Throw the slider.
And he did, and he does. One down here in the ninth.
Yeah, 2 really good sliders with great depth. And he threw the one down and in, and then he threw the one down middle below the zone and got Benintendi to chase.
So here is Sam Antonacci. Grounded foul. by Caballero, scrambles after it, and he's too late with the throw, allowing Antonacci to reach.
Yeah, as a third baseman, a lot of times the ball gets on you really quickly, and this just gets on him. And we talked about the moisture in the grass, and it's maybe a little bit quicker than the infielders are anticipating. And it seemed like that ball got on him a little too quick.
So runner on first base, and here's Murakami. Sanchez, feeling good about things, is going to challenge that. ABS by T-Mobile. And got it wrong.
That's confirmed. New York has 0 challenges remaining.
Both teams out of ABS challenges. They have still not scored the Antonacci ground ball. Popped up.
Wow, Michael, this
right
is right
back here. Falls into the seats.
Michael, I wasn't good at pop-ups when I played, and I sure the heck wasn't going after that.
I like your attitude about it, and I like Paul's attitude about it, but David really hasn't stated an attitude about it.
I know.
Well, you know the rule of thumb.
What's that? Don't break your thumb?
No, you try to keep pitchers from having to handle the baseball. You don't want them fielding pop-ups. Sometimes when they field bunts, they throw it away. Let the position players do it.
Well, you certainly don't want play-by-play guys doing it.
Well, I mean, maybe you got good hands. Maybe you just couldn't hit, or something.
Well, I definitely couldn't hit. E5 given to Caballero. Took him a while. First error for the Yanks. 3-1.
And here's a situation that he doesn't have to try to be too quick, because you don't want to worry about the base runner. You want to get the hitter, because this is a guy that's dangerous.
And there's a walk, and this is what frustrates you about Doval. With his stuff and a 5-run lead, why should you ever walk a guy in the 9th inning?
Yeah, I mean, I think the world has changed, because I don't think pitchers look at scores nearly as much, or like who's on deck nearly as much. It's just that one-on-one battle that they go after every time. And it was set up by an error, and now there's first and second, and you see Matt Blake going out there to talk to Doval. Don't worry about the runners, just get the hitters. It's a game we don't want to use Bednar if we don't have to.
So they're trying to settle down Doval. And now that makes them have to get up Bednar, which you don't want to do. It'll be his 4th appearance in 6 days, and you just don't want to do it. Even if he doesn't get into the game, he's heating up.
That was the great thing about Mariano Rivera. He used the 8 pitches on this mound,
right,
to get loose. He didn't warm up much in the bullpen. He used to make me so nervous. I would call down. I would say, Hark, is he going to be ready? Don't worry about it. Hark, he's not throwing. Don't worry about it.
Grounded. Foul. Well, Bednar was used one of the doubleheader games, then Friday, Saturday. Didn't pitch last night in the Yankee loss. So tonight would be 3 out of 4 and 4 out of 6.
Tell you what, that was a good decision by the ball girl down the third base line. She let it go, not knowing if it was fair or foul. You want your infielders to make good decisions.
One and two as he dropped a sinker in there.
I loved how you said that. He went to the top of the zone and just kind of dropped it in there.
Yep. At 98. Dropped at 98. Driven out to left field on the run as Schumann reaches up and makes the play. Ball hit well, but Schumann ran it down. The runners retreat, 2 down.
You remember the breaking balls that he threw to Benintendi had a lot of downward movement and were in a good spot. Well, this one was not, and that's why it was hit so hard. And a really good play by Schumann there. Just make the catch. 2 outs. Now finish this game.
So here's Montgomery, 3 hits and a walk tonight.
Montgomery really has a hard time with the slider below the zone. I think it just looks so attractive to him because as a left-handed hitter, you're usually a low ball hitter. He swings over the top of it a ton.
Boy, the way he hits against the Yankees, it's kind of startling. You're making out your lineup card. And he comes into the game with 24 home runs and 59 ribbies, but a .218 hitter.
Yeah. How is that possible?
I don't see it. But it's obviously true. He's up to .224 with the 3 hits tonight. (3-0) as Doval seems intent on getting Bednar into this game. And if this runner gets on, it would be a save situation.
I think he brings him in.
Because the tying run would be on deck. There's a strike. And the 3-1. This should do it. Popped up. Who's going to get it? Volpe makes the play. Dropped the ball. Volpe dropped the ball. Wow, and the game continues. So 1 run scored. Murakami moves to third. Montgomery reaches on the E6. And now they're going to have to go to Bednar.
Yeah, Michael, I'm not so sure that he shouldn't have been called off by an outfielder, and I know he's camped. That ball was up there a long time, and it's not like Volpe had a long ways to go, but like that ball is up there a long time. Dominguez is not going after it hard. Trent is somewhat going after it hard, but he sees him where he's under it and doesn't call him off, and you'd prefer that your outfielder took that baseball.
So the Yankees have made 2 errors this inning, so you can't put a lot of the blame on Doval. That was the last out of the game. Dropped by Volpe for an E6, and that forces the Yankees to bring in Bednar to try and get the save. Well, fans, when you get Gotham, you get live games and exclusive Yankees content. Download the Gotham Sports app to stream highlights, features, podcast, original series, and so much more. And if you get Yes on TV, then you get the Gotham Sports app for free. So download and sign it today. Infielders trying to come to grips with that ball being dropped. And now David Bednar comes on. It's a save situation. Yankees lead by a score of 9-5. The tying runs on deck, which makes it a save situation. First and third. My drop at the plate. 1-0.
And Joe Torre always talked about giving a guy a little bit of a wiggle room. You know, not making it where the hitter you bring him in could actually beat you or tie you. Give him a little wiggle room. If he doesn't get the first guy out, it's a good chance he'll get the second guy out.
Max Fried started. Bednar, the 8th pitcher used tonight. That ties a season high for the Yanks. Pop foul. Goldschmidt gives it a look, but it's way back in the seats. And one of the beauties of baseball is everybody you use today bleeds into tomorrow, who you can use tomorrow. So everything has a ramification attached to it. And in all likelihood, Joe, you probably don't use Bednar tomorrow night.
No, you probably don't. And you probably don't have Blackburn.
Probably have Chavihi, Hill,
Hedrick.
and Hedrick. Cruz
Should have Duvall.
Oh, come on, hit him double and get it over.
2-2. Nine 5 Yanks. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. And the Yankees hold on and beat the White Sox 9-5 to begin the 4-game series with a victory. So Bednar picks up the save. And the Yankees got some offense despite all the injuries, and they take home a victory.
Yeah, a big hit by Jazz Chisholm. That double that he had in the 4th inning was a huge hit. 2 RBIs, and the Yankees got back into this game, and they just continued to add on. And then you get the big home run late by Ali Sanchez to put them up 9-4. Tremendous performance.
So Jazz Chisholm with the big hit. And as we said, Sanchez with his first big league home run, and Meidroth strikes out to end this one on a Monday night. We have so much more to do. We've got awards to give out. We've got a big post-game show with Justin and Jack and Meredith. Stay right here. It's only going to get better. The Yankees win 9-5.